Thanks to Keith at Magnolia Tire Pros and Auto Service for the professional installation of our Speedy Strut Complete Strut Assemblies by Sensen. We always recommend you go to a professional for this type of repair. Today we'll be replacing a set of rear complete strut assemblies on the 2005 Ford Explorer. This rear set fits the 2002 through 2005 Ford Explorer and the 2002 through 2005 Mercury Mountaineer. We recommend using Speedy Struts by Sensen when replacing your worn out struts. Speedy Strut Complete Strut Assemblies by Sensen come with a limited lifetime warranty. Sensen uses OE grade coil springs and strut mounts with premium grade bearings. All Speedy Struts are assembly tested for vehicle fitment accuracy and come in high quality premium packaging. Better components, better processes, better quality. Speedy Strut is the better option. Some of the tools needed for this installation include a 3/4 inch socket, an 18mm socket, a 24mm socket and ratchet, a 13mm wrench, a 24.5 inch ratchet. You may also need a hammer, pry bar, and a screwdriver. After getting the vehicle into the shop and up on the lift, remove the rear wheels. First, lubricate the nuts if they are rusty. Use a 13mm wrench to loosen the top nuts. Keith chiseled off the cover of one of the bolts to get at the nut. He used a 13mm short wrench with a 45-degree angle for the back nut. Use a 24.5 inch ratchet to loosen the bolt. It's not necessary to use a wrench on the back nut because this one comes with a metal bar that holds it in place. Use a 24mm socket to remove the bolt. Then use an 18mm socket to remove the bolt on one end of the linkage bar. Then lubricate the bolt and use a mallet to drive the bolt out. Here he uses a chisel to work the rusty bar loose. Remove the nut from the upper A-frame using an 18mm socket. You will also need to use a mallet and a screwdriver to push the bolt out. You may also need more lubrication if there is rust. Here he uses a chisel to work the rusty bar loose. Remove the nut from the upper A-frame using an 18mm socket. You will need to use a mallet and a screwdriver to push the bolt out. You may need more lubrication if there is rust. Use the pry bar to push down on the strut to pull it out under the lip. The rear strut should come out. Remove the top nuts of your new Speedy Strut and fit the bolts up into the correct holes. As you can see, it was hard getting the strut pushed down far enough to fit it back under the lip. So Keith got someone to push the top of the strut back under while he used the pry bar. Line the bolts back up into the holes and replace the nuts and tighten using a 13mm wrench. To replace the bottom bolt, Keith used the pry bar to push the strut up until the holes lined up and got someone to replace the bolt. Then add the nut with a metal plate and tighten using the 24mm socket. Push the linkage bar back in and replace the bolt, tapping it with the mallet. Replace the nut and tighten with an 18mm socket. Be sure to tighten all the top nuts. Tap the A-frame bolt back in place. Replace the nut and tighten using the 18mm socket. Replace the wheel and you're done. This concludes our rear complete strut assemblies installation on the 2005 Ford Explorer. Be sure to look for our front strut installation video for this vehicle. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Magnolia Tire Pros and Auto Service for their professional installation.